Hey folks, this is Mike from Techaholica, and today I'm bringing you my first lesson of my Twitch bot tutorial. If you haven't done so, you can check out the setup video that I just did, and that's basically how to get started, writing your bots. You're going to need to create a bot account, download MRC, connect it to the Twitch channel, and all that kind of stuff. So if you haven't done that, you need to do that, and you don't know how to do that already, check out my first video. But in this video, we're actually going to start coding, right? So we're going to go over a couple of things. Getting started towards running our bot, and the bot we're working towards is making a slot machine bot, so your users can play the slots in your chat. They can do some other stuff too, right? So today we're going to learn how to write comments, which are basically things that don't get evaluated by the bot. Events we could pick up on, so we could pick up on whenever the script is loaded. We could do something special. We could do whenever a user types a command, we could pick up on that. Or a user joins or leaves your channel, you can do something special there. So we'll show you how to do that. Write to channel, so when a user enters your channel, you can say welcome to my channel, right? So you can write something automatically to the channel, and then we can check if a user is an admin. So you can do admin commands that only mods in your channel can do. So let's get started. All right, so here I am with my MIRC client. If you need to bring this up, you can do Tools, Script Editor, or you can do Alt-R to bring this up. Make sure you go to File, New. So create a new script and then save it somewhere. So I'm saving mine in the IRC folder. And I created a subfolder called slots, and I'm saving it as slots.ini. So you can see down here, slots and slots.ini, right? All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write a comment. So this is an example of a multi-line comment. So basically, anything in here is just text for your own information. So if anyone reads this, they can just read it in regular plain English what your script is doing. So this is really useful. You want to get in a good habit of writing comments. So this is just an example of a multi-line one. So anything that I've written here and here is not going to get evaluated by the script. And the way you designate a comment is through this slash star and then star slash. So anything in there is not going to get evaluated, but make sure it's only this on a line by itself. A lot of languages, you can do stuff like this. And this is how a lot of other ways to write it, but this will fail. This does not actually work when you're writing a Twitch bot in IRC. So you need to have these on their own lines all by themselves. You couldn't do this either. You couldn't do something like this, like slots bot, right? So anything that's on this line with this open comment is going to fail, right? So you can't do this. So make sure this is on its own line by itself. And there you go. So this is just an informational comment, but later on when you write code, you're going to want to write just like, explaining what you're doing. So, this is doing this, I'm looping through these numbers, and the point of this is this, that this variable is holding this value. So that way, as your code gets longer and longer and you write more and more, it's going to get really confusing. So it's really helpful to write comments. And also you can do a search, right? So if you want to say, where did I do that one thing? You can do a search and you can search in plain text for it, right? Another way to write a comment is with these slashes and this. So this is a single line comment. So if I want to do more than one line, it'll look like this. So both of these are not going to get evaluated by the script. So this is how you would write a single line comment. Also very important is that you need to have this space right here. If you do this, it's going to fail. And also, sometimes when the IRC script fails, it doesn't really fail in a way that you're used to if you've written other programming language. It'll just do weird stuff. It'd be really hard to track down. So these spaces are very important right here, and then make sure this is on its own line right here, right? So that's how you write a comment. It'll make more sense if you don't know what a comment is, so you haven't seen one before. As we go on coding, you'll see more and more of this, and you'll see how you can use it. So let's get rid of that. All right, so next thing we do is events. So say you want to, whenever the user entered your channel, you want to give them a welcome message saying, welcome to my channel, and then username, right? So this is going to look a little bit funny at first, but I'll explain it. So this is how you would do it. All right, so first of all, you see here I wrote a comment, so just explaining what we're doing here. So it's saying stuff to do when a user joins a channel. This is what this whole section here is doing, right? So I'll put this up here so it'll make more sense. All right. So now we're saying I wrote a comment saying this is what these are things we're going to do when a user joins a channel. So this is going to look a little weird, but saying on, which basically means like whenever an event happens, and this is the event we're looking for, is join. This first part here, this star here, is the user. A star is also a wildcard, so it matches to anybody. So we're saying when anybody joins our channel. You could do other stuff later, like if the user's an admin or actual, you could pinpoint a user. But what we're saying here is when any user, and what we're looking for is a join. So when any user joins our channel, which is what this is, you need the colon, join, colon. And then what channel do we want? And if you do this, it's our, the current channel. So whatever bot channel your bot is in, that's what we're looking for. So basically what we're saying here is whenever anyone joins this channel, do something. And so what we're going to do is between these two brackets here. So you got this bracket here, open bracket and close bracket. Really important that this needs to be on its own line here. Probably need a space between this. And then this is everything in between those two brackets. It's what's going to happen when a user joins a channel. And so what's going to happen in this case is we're going to say message channel, welcome to the channel, Nick. So message is the command we're doing. What it does, it writes a message somewhere, so you got to tell where to write. So we're saying write to channel. $chan means this is a variable. $chan, so that's saying that means this channel. So instead of having to say like, I have a channel Techaholica, I could do this. I could do Techaholica, right? Well, that means like every time I write this, I write a bot, I have to know what channel I'm in already. So why do that when I can just do this? Which if I'm in the Techaholica channel, it's going to write to Techaholica. If I'm in another channel, I'm running this bot, it'll write to that channel that's in. So that's what this means. So it says write to this channel, and everything after this is what we're going to write. So it's saying welcome to the channel, and then once again $Nick. And what that's going to do is going to pull in the username of whoever just joined. So $Nick is the username or the nickname of the person joining the channel. So that's what I'm going to do. So you can see right now that, okay, so I have two users in here. I'm going to give my other bot to join the channel. And his name is Tekadrunk. So you're going to see him pop up here in a second. And then let's save this and we'll file load just to make sure. So file load is just like, we're going to reload the script. So now this on join part is part of what our bot is running. So whenever, also it's kind of weird that IRC, there's a big delay between when stuff happens in the Twitch channel and when we actually see it pop up here. So I've already joined the channel and I'm in the channel already with my user, so I can say, so I'm going to type in the other channel. You see me typing down there. Oops. So you see me typing down there, right? Oh, look. So I type. So you can see that I was in the channel ahead of time, but it took a while for the IRC to realize that I was in the channel. So I finally joined, and when I did join, the bot wrote, welcome to the channel, Tekadrunk. So that part works right. So this is saying when Tekadrunk joined, welcome to the channel, Tekadrunk. So that's one way to do an event. So that's an on join event. So we have other events we can do as well. So let's look at those. So we can do, one you could do is whenever you load your script. So I could say on load. So what happens here says, whenever I load the script, do stuff here, right? So if we'll do it later, is we're going to say that, okay, when the script loads up, go to this file, pick up all these configuration settings, and load them up into the script, right? So you can do other stuff too. We're going to fill that in later, but this is how you would do an event for whenever you load the script the first time. If you want to do whenever the user leaves, you could do on parts. So this is saying like, all right, so on joins when they join the channel, and on parts when they leave the channel. So here we're going to do stuff whenever the user leaves the channel. We'll fill this in later as well, but that's just so you know how to do this. And then the other important one is this on text one. So we're going to start off with, I'll explain this in a second, but basically it's saying, all right, this is the really important one. So whenever any user writes text, and a text, this is a matching case. So if that text matches exclamation dance, and we're in this channel then do something with it, right? So what I'm basically trying to do is saying whenever anyone writes $dance to a channel, I want to do something. In this case, what I want to do is message to their channel. So I'm saying write to my channel, Nick does a dance. So if anyone in the room writes exclamation dance, write this to the channel. Username, also known $Nick does a dance. So let's save that, and we'll load it back up again to make sure you pick up the changes. And then I'm gonna go over here, let's minimize this so you can see. Alright, so here you should see the output. So I'll say exclamation dance. So you can see Tekadrunk does a dance, and then the bot responded with Tekadrunk does a dance, right? So it works just fine. But now if over here I say do something else, so here you go, exclamation do something else, nothing happens, right? Because I'm only looking for this. I'm only matching this. It has to match exactly too. Alright, so I can't be like dance 1. Let's close this. So you see I type in dance 1. Even though it has dance in it, having an extra character in it means it doesn't match exactly. So it won't pick up on that, right? Which is good. That's what we want, right? So we're matching this exactly. So this is what a lot of people do when they want to do commands. They'll just put a bunch of these together. They'll say, alright, one dance, and then whatever I say, you can do one for like hi, message channel. Nick says hi. So you can do all these, right? So you can list all your commands this way. We'll load it up and then save it, load it up. So now we have the new command in there. So now if I type hi in this other one, you see it's the hi, Tekadrunk says hi, right? So that's how you can do multiple commands. So in reality, at this point, you've already written your first chatbot. It's already doing stuff in your chat. So if you want to, you can be totally done. That's all you want to do is people dance. You make a dance bot, you're done. But what I want to show you now, is to a different way to kind of gather input from the user. So you can see here that you have to check for each individual command display. But another way we can do this is like this. So we'll do, let me just copy this over here. So I'm going to get rid of this. This is another way to do it. Alright, so kind of the same but a little bit different. So here we're saying whenever any user enters text and it starts with exclamation and it's followed by anything, right? Once again, this star is a wall star. It matches any character. So whenever any user writes text and the text starts with exclamation and followed by anything else, then run the commands. Alright, so now what we're doing is we're saying, okay, so now we're going to accept any command with the started with exclamation. And the first thing we want to check for something special is when they say exclamation dance, right? So that's what this is checking for, right? So this, okay, now I have the text. What are we actually going to do? So this $1 is basically picking the first word after their initial command, right? So if, for instance, they did, or it's the first word of the command. So if they do hi, then $1 would equal to hi, right? So, or like this, right? So if they typed in hi, $1 would be hi. If they type in exclamation dance, which is what we're looking for this case, then $1 is dance. So now they do something like this, like dance with you, then $1 would be dance, $2 would be you with, and $3 is equal to you, right? So those $1, 2, and 3s are ways you can pick up on the words that a user entered into the chat, right? So we only care about the first one, since we're only looking for just a dance. But so they type in like blah 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 dance blah blah, then we're only looking for that first one. Saying, okay, they said dance in the first word. Now it's execute command. So this, let's get rid of this. That's nothing. So now we're saying, okay, if the first word they entered is exclamation dance, then it's right to their channel. You do a happy dance, just like we did before. All right, so we'll save that. Oops, actually I loaded it. Let's load it back up. All right, so now I'm going to go over to my But we'll minimize this so you can see. There you go. You do a happy dance. Now I can say dance with you. And like, once again, it read on the first part dance, and it just says, okay, it means dance. This is what you want to do. I'll just do a dance. So that's what that is. Now we can do something a little different if you wanted. So let's look at. So now you can do. Say if you want to have a dance with somebody, right? So you could say, we want to say dance with user, right? So you could say, Nick. Right, so 1 is equal to $1 is dance, $2 is me with, $3 is the user dancing with, right? So here we go, we can do that. Now let's see how this works. And there you go, so Take a Drunk dances with someone, so it picked up on the variable, the third word I typed in, and it put that into the output like we wanted, so. But we don't want to do that, right? So we just say, does a happy dance. There you go. Alright, so we'll leave it at this. Alright, now moving on. Now what we're going to do is do an admin command. And so the admin command we're going to do is, what was it, dance party? So only admins are allowed to do the command dance party. So let's look at how that would look. Put that here. Else if, okay. So here we go. So now we're saying, alright, first check and see if the user entered dance. If they didn't, go on to the next one. Does 1 equal dance? Nope. Else if, so if this, else that, you know. So if 1, nope, else if, also it does 1 equal dance party. So we're looking for dance party now as the command right here. So now we're saying, is the username who entered this command, $Nick, is OP. Is OP is the command that says, is this user a moderator of whatever channel? And the channel we're looking for is the current channel we're in, right? So we already know what Nick and Chan mean, right? So this is the current user, this is the current channel, and we're saying is this user a moderator of the current channel we're in? If so, it's going to go to this branch. If not, it goes to this branch. So if so, we're going to write to the output. Nick starts, which is the username, starts a dance party, everyone dance. If not, we're going to write to the chat saying, sneaky, sneaky, only admins are allowed, can start a dance party, right? So that's what we're doing. Also, very important is that you want to make sure that this is on a separate line after this closing bracket here. A lot of programming language will let you do this. Oops, I don't know what I did there. So let you do like this, right? You can write it all on one line, but even that, right? A lot of languages will let you do that, but when you're writing a script for Twitch, you have to have a separate line. Actually, you probably need a space there and then an enter there, right? So make sure this closing bracket is all by itself here, and this is on a separate line. So, all right, so let's test out our new script here. Let's do dance party. Oops. Alright, so I did dance party. And also, as you saw that I just saved that. I didn't have to load it again, right? So loading it again was just kind of like, it's my way of just like verifying that it's actually picking up the new code. But if you just do a save, it'll pick it up just fine usually. So here we did Take a Drunk does dance party, and it says, and the bot responded, username Take a Drunk, sneak, only admins are allowed to do a dance party, right? Because Take a Drunk is just the user of my channel. He's not actually an admin. I do have another account, so let's look at this guy. This is my actual streaming account, so of course he's the admin. So we'll do dance party, and there you go. Techaholika starts a dance party, everyone dance. Also, you'll notice that here it's all lowercase, but if you actually looked in our code, we were looking for capital P. So that's not really case sensitive. You could do case sensitive if you want to, but by default it doesn't care, right? So it's not case sensitive at all. So anyways, something we cover a lot here. If this is all you watched as far as the rest of my videos goes, you could already make a pretty cool chatbot. We could respond to users and write stuff to their channel and all that kind of cool stuff, right? So, but we're gonna build on this later. This is just kind of a introduction into writing a code for a Twitch chatbot, and stick with me later. We'll get towards where we're writing the actual slot machine thing, right? So it'll be a lot of fun. So I'll see you guys next time.